Hello everyone, welcome to TEC. I am Dr. Rajpal, and in this video we are going to discuss one more article from the Hindu dated 21st September. The title is Define the Contours of Hate in Speech. So before we start discussing the article, let's look at the vocabulary of this article. The first word is injunct. Injunct means to issue a legal injunction against something, somebody, declaring that this should happen or this should not happen. So it's a kind of legal order debarring something or allowing something. The next word is contour from the title itself, and contour means the outline, the shape of something. Circumspect means very careful, very vigilant. Restraint means to restrict somebody from doing something. Or infiltrate means to enter some organization or a state or a country with the purpose of knowing the secrecy of that organization or country or state in a very gradual manner. Next is insidious. Insidious means proceeding in a gradual, subtle way but with very harmful effects. Wanton, open, an act of breaking or a very cruel or violent action. Deliberate and unprovoked. Breach, and breach means to break something, to violate something. For example, breach of law, breaching of one's promise. Next is delineate. Delineate means to describe or portray something. Next is fraught. Fraught means filled with something. For example, this proposal is fraught with so many problems, so many challenges. Glean means to obtain information, particularly after searching so many places. Next is vilify. Vilify means to spoil someone's image by writing or by speaking something ill of them. To say or write unpleasant things about somebody, something, so that other people have a low opinion about them. Rebarbative, not attractive. Animate means to make something more lively or to bring something to life again. Quell means to squeeze or to stop such a violent behavior or protest. Incongruous, not suitable. And restitution is restoration, restoring something that has lost its way. And the last word is ramify, to cause to offspring, to cause to develop. And as we have not been paying attention to words alone, we have been paying attention to word combinations. So the word combinations, some beautiful word combinations or expressions which are there in this article. Let's have a look at those expressions worth learning. Wanton disregard. So wanton disregard means open disregard, willing disregard, fraught with difficulties, problems or dangers. The guarantee of equal dignity to all. This is one of the traits of democratic republic. The public good of inclusiveness. Censorship is a bottomless pit. This is an idea also that is described in this article. So next is a rebarbative speech, some speech that is not attractive. Veritable marketplace of ideas. Delphic imprecision. Imprecision is something that is not precise, that is not exact. And Delphic means moralistic. So some moralistic imprecision. Desperate concern. It is not only concern but it is desperate concern. Court must chisel its contents into a feasible, constitutionally committed model. So here the expression that is worth consideration is chisel something into. So chisel into. Chisel into is a kind of probing into. So the court must chisel its contents into a feasible, continuously committed model. Deleterious impact. So some bad impact, deleterious impact. A lot will ride on how. This is also a wonderful expression. A lot will ride on how blank. So a lot will ride. So lot will ride means will depend. A lot will depend. A lot will ride on how the government deals with the ongoing protest of the farmers. So a lot will depend on how the government deals with this ongoing farmers protests. So this is to show that it will depend. So this is the vocabulary, and now something about this article. This article define the contours of hate in speech. Primarily the debate is on hate in speech. This is very ambiguous. Constitutionally speaking, हमारे जो hate का concept है, hate in speech का जो concept है, वो बहुत ambiguous है, वो clear नहीं है कि what is displeasing in speech and what is hate in speech. There is a difference between the two. Displeasing और unpleasant speech में और hate in speech में difference है जो कि clear नहीं है, और उसी बात पे writer has emphasized, writer का emphasis इस बात पे है कि this is the high time that constitutionally we bring some sort of crystal clear understanding of what is hate in speech. और ये जो आर्टिकल है ये इस संदर्भ में लिखा गया है. द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ दिस वेरी आर्टिकल इज द controversy over Sudarshan channel, particularly the specific program Bindas Bol, that is about UPSC जिहाद. सो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में वो मैटर है और उसी कॉन्टेक्स्ट के अंदर ये आर्टिकल लिखा गया है. लेट्स टेक अ क्लोज क्रिटिकल रीडिंग ऑफ दिस आर्टिकल. On Tuesday, the Supreme Court of India injuncted a Hindi language television channel, Sudarshan News, from continuing its broadcast of a series titled Bindas Bol. That I have explained, that this is the immediate context of this article. This decision marked a departure from an order delivered on August 28th, when the court said that it must be circumspect in imposing any prior restraint on speech. So the last decision, that was of 28th of August, the court was of the opinion that there should be no prior restriction on any voice, and now the contrary has happened, especially since statutory authorities were vested with powers to ensure compliance of the law, the fulfillment of the law, the adherence to the law. But circumstances changed. Following the court's original order, 4 episodes in the series were aired portraying what the channel described as jihadi conspiracy by Muslims to infiltrate India's civil services. So the reason has also been given that even after that particular order, 4 programs, 4 episodes of this program were aired. That's why. To this allegation, the show added a number of evidently false statements. For example, it claimed that the upper age limit for Hindus attempting the civil services examination was 32 years, while the age limit for Muslims was 35. This was one misnomer कि भारतीय जो हिंदू हैं, हिंदू एस्पिरेंट्स हैं, उनके लिए अपर एज 32 है, मुस्लिम्स के लिए 35 है. दैट इज़ नॉट करेक्ट. दैट मुस्लिम्स वर entitled to 9 attempts at the examination, when the Hindus were entitled only for 6. This is also a misconception. This is not true. These assertions, the court noted, were not only insidious, these were not only bad, but were also made in wanton disregard of the truth. Wanton disregard of the truth means open disregard of the truth. Therefore, even on the face of it, the episodes had brought the entire Muslim community into public hatred and disrepute, and in the process had breached the program code that regulates cable television. So breached means that has violated the rules of program code, that is for regulation of TV channels, cable channels, delineating the ambiguous. So what is ambiguous? The writer tries to portray the ambiguous. जो चीज़ क्लियर नहीं है, जो वेग है, उसको writer has delineated, attempted to delineate, to portray the ambiguity. The channel's contempt of facts and its attempt to denigrate Muslims might appear to be an obvious case of hate speech, but our laws present several complications when an attempt is to distinguish permissible speech from hateful criminal conduct. So, permissible speech and hateful criminal conduct. The Supreme Court's own past precedent has scarcely helped clarify matters. This case, therefore, represents something of an opportunity to infuse clarity in our legislation by identifying the distinction between merely offensive speech and hate speech. What we need to have? We need to have a clear distinction between offensive speech versus hateful speech. And by making clearer still those categories of exceptional cases where the Constitution permits prior restraint. To be sure, this exercise has been delicately handled, but that it fraught with difficulties must not deter the court from delineating what has long remained ambiguous. So it has been ambiguous, it has not been clear since long, and at this time we need to infuse some sort of clarity in this distinction between offensive speech and hate in speech. A working definition of hate speech will have to be gleaned, that has to be gathered, that has to be verified by interpreting our laws in conjunction with the constitutional right to free speech. But in attempting to draw a line, it might be valuable to study the basic thesis that undergirds consensus across most liberal democracies, with the notable exception of the United States, on why states must deny protection to hate speech. This view is predicated on a philosophical defense, which is perhaps best exemplified in the work of the scholar Jeremy Waldron. In Professor Waldron's definition, hate speech refers to utterances that incite violence. So वो utterances जिनके सुनने से, जिनके फैलने से हिंसा भड़के, that is hate in speech. Hatred, जिससे कि घृणा बढ़े, और डिस्क्रिमिनेशन अगेंस्ट पीपल ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर कलेक्टिव आइडेंटिटी, और लोगों के प्रति भेदभाव, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन बढ़े उनकी कलेक्टिव आइडेंटिटी की वजह से, भेदभाव कलेक्टिव आइडेंटिटी की वजह से, घृणा और हिंसा, अगर ये तीन चीज़ें बढ़ती हैं किसी भी अटरेंस से, दैट इज हेट स्पीच एज पर द डेफिनेशन ऑफ प्रोफेसर वॉल्ड्रन. Be it race, ethnicity, religion, gender or sexuality. So the identity markers, he says the limitation in these cases should be restricted to those categories of minorities who are vulnerable, who are weak. Under this conception, a merely offensive statement would not qualify a hate speech. Offensive statement would not qualify for a hate speech. For example, a mockery of Buddhism's tenets would not be illegal simply because it offends the sensibilities of its practitioners. On the other hand, speech that describes all Buddhists as amoral would qualify. Similarly, a work of satire on a religious figure that outrages the sentiments of his followers will be safeguarded, but speech that vilifies an entire community by describing them, say, as anti-nationals, would go unprotected. So if you say something of a satirical nature, so that is your literary license, poetic license you can call that. But if you do that intentionally to vilify the image of the entire community, that is hate in speech. Otherwise, it might be offensive speech that you are offended, but an offensive speech cannot be categorized as hate speech. That's the central idea of this article. And then let's take the concluding part of it. Issue of prior restraint. While it is clear that the Constitution offers no protection to hate speech, the state's failure to apply the program code uniformly is linked to wider incongruence in the law's content, just like the substantive hate speech provisions in the IPC. So Indian Penal Code में 153A एंड 295A के अंदर इन सब चीज़ों का जिक्र है, जिस पे पूरा डिस्कशन भी है, बट वी आर टेकिंग द concluding part of it. Just like the substantive hate speech provisions in the IPC, the program code is also much too vague, something that is not clear, VAGUE, something that is not clear. The Supreme Court must chisel its contents into feasible, constitutionally committed model. Hard as this exercise sounds, this is the easy part. It is in deciding whether a prior restraint on speech can be imposed that the court must tread a finer line. We have repeatedly seen the deleterious impact that injunction on speech have on the right to information and democracy. So if there are injunctions on speech without any solid grounds, that will hamper heavily on right to information and democratic setup of the country. That's why we need to just have a proper understanding of what is hate in speech. Only last week, the High Court of Andhra Pradesh gagged the press from reporting on a charge made against a former Advocate General of the state, despite the manifest public interest in the case. Likewise, the pitfalls, the shortcomings of a rule of absolute prior restraint under the Cinematograph Act have been all too evident. We certainly do not need an analogous regime for the broadcast media, but at the same time, a rule against prior restraint cannot be unconditional. When it becomes evident that the basic objective of a broadcast is to evoke hatred and to vilify a vulnerable minority, the law must find a way to foil the harm. A lot will ride on how the court strikes this balance, for hate speech, once uttered, not only leaves little room for restitution, but can also ramify to serve all manners of undemocratic ends. So there is no protection on hate speech. Hate speech must be condemned, but the question is, what is hate speech? We need to define hate speech in more clear terminology, or in a clearer wording. We need to define what is hate in speech. I hope you have understood this idea of offensive speech and hate speech that has been described in this article. I request you to write down your questions in the comment box in case you have, and this is though a toughening experience, but this is the realistic approach to newspaper reading and learning of language, and moreover to update yourself with the requisite knowledge on a variety of topics. So I hope you are enjoying it, and you would give your responses in the comment box. And until now, if you have not subscribed TEC, kindly subscribe it, like it and share it. Thank you.